and welcome back to Fluttering Butterflies. My name is Michelle and this video is going to be talking about all of the books by British authors that I've read during the month of January. These aren't all the books that I read in January, just the ones by British authors. And this is to go along with the British Books Challenge 2015, which I am hosting on my blog, Fluttering Butterflies, and all the information will be down below. Okay, so I read 5 books in January by British authors and they were all fabulous. They were really, really good, and let's get started. The first book that I read in January with British authors is this. It's Love Hurts, and it's an anthology of extracts and short stories edited by Mallory Blackman. There are enough British authors included to count this for the challenge. Really, really good. I loved the diversity. I loved the inclusion of lots of different types of love. It was really cute. My absolute 2 favorite short stories from this collection is Tumbling by Susie Day and Gentlewoman by Laura Dockrell, which I thought were both amazing. The book that I read was The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury. This book is being published by Scholastic in February, and it's a wonderful, wonderful fantasy story about this girl who has the power to kill people with her touch. And it was really, really good. I loved the inclusion of fairy tales to this story. I loved the aspect of sin eating, loads and loads of things. Loved this book. Really looking forward to more people reading it. On my Kindle, I also read Gamechanger by Tim Bowler. This is being published in March, I believe, by the Oxford University Press. It's a really, really interesting story. It's kind of a different type of thriller than I'd read before, in that the main character is riddled with phobias. He's afraid of open spaces, and he'd much rather hide in his cupboard than face up to all of his fears, until he sees something that he shouldn't, and people start coming after him and threatening him and his little sister, and he really has to face up to all of these different things. And I thought it was really, really interesting and thought-provoking and cool. I really liked it. The 4th book that I read in January is 7 Days by Eve Ainsworth. This is another book by Scholastic being published in February. What a great cover! Isn't this great? Now this book is about bullying. It's told from 2 perspectives, one of a victim of bullying and the other perspective is from the bully. And this is a great book that shows both sides of the situation and gives a little insight into the pressures that some bullies might be under. Addictive reading. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I wanted to know more about these characters and this story and everything. I thought it was fantastic. Look out very soon for an interview that I have on the blog with Eve Ainsworth. And the 5th and final book that I read in January by a British author is Jessica's Ghost by Andrew Norris. This book is being published by David Fickling Books in March, and it's fantastic. This is my favorite of the 5 books that I've read this month, and I didn't really know very much about this book when I first started it, except that there's a ghost in it called Jessica. But I figured I quite liked David Fickling Books previously. It has high praise from Phil Earle, and that was enough for me to pick this book up. So I did, and I loved it. I'm not at all surprised that I loved it based on that praise, but it was very, very good. It is a great, gentle story about friendship and celebrating our own differences and other people's differences, and it touches on some really serious topics, but it does it in such a gentle, sweet way, and I was crying all the way through that last third of the book. So very good. wait for more of you to read this one. So these are books plus Gamechanger by Tim Bowler that I've read in February. How are you doing with the British Books Challenge? Do let me know in comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.